Hello, hello, hello. So we have a very good question, and the question is, what is a habit mind? The question is so good that I actually have no idea. But I did a little bit of research, and if it refers to this, this is the answer. So basically, Einstein said that we effectively, he was very against schools. I forget the exact quote, but something like everything I know I learned after I forgot everything I learned in school. And so the issue of school and the Western way of teaching, I'm not sure where it began, but basically, obviously I've been classically trained in the Jewish way of learning. And in the Jewish way of learning, you don't sit in front of a teacher who basically drones on. What you do is you are given in childhood very quickly, probably by the age of 5, you learn the skills of reading and writing, and then you quickly learn, basically through self-study, the meaning. Like I was never taught Hebrew, but I know Hebrew very well because the brain basically learns by practice, by experience. And many societies, what they really do is they kind of squash the individual. They try to box people into some kind of mold. That's really why a lot of, Jews are very innovation. There's a tremendous amount of innovation in Israel and a lot of innovation around the world. I mean, 25% of major corporations come from 15 million people, which are, I don't know, point whatever percent of the world population. 35% of, I think, scientific discoveries or Nobel Prizes. So it's very bizarre that such a small group of people should be so innovative. And that's because they're encouraged. When people are encouraged, and that's really the idea of a habit mind, it's not so much about gaining information. A computer will always know more than you and I will ever know. But the computer doesn't know what to do with that information and has no independent desire. So a very important part of life is creativity. Einstein was very into creativity. He says, I'm not that smart, I'm just very curious. And he believed in imagination. And part of the problem of today is that people are so wired and so busy being entertained. I think there was a book that was written called Entertained to Death. They actually don't know how to think. You look at some of the young people today, they're almost like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're certainly not thinking. It's almost like they're zombies. They're just sort of floating through life. Like, there's a guy who wrote a book on it, and his classic example is that there was an Xmas tree that in some university, I think he was a dean of the university, they asked the kids, I mean, they're kind of young adults, to decorate the tree. So these young kids, so they decorate the tree until I don't know, it was, maybe they had a ladder or something. They decorate the like bottom third of the tree, and so they come to them and they're like, "What's with the top 2/3 of the tree?" They were like, "Well, we didn't have a ladder that was big enough." So they're like, "Well, why didn't you call maintenance?" And so, in other words, you're dealing with a very kind of docile mind. So for the mind to function, you really, really need three things. First of all, you need creativity, but creativity on itself can lack determination. You look at some of the immigrants to the United States in general and tougher countries, people are very determined, very focused, but you could be too focused in life. And so that's really the right and the left brain. You have to have moments of inspiration. That's what Judaism is so great on. You get a Shabbos, a day off, the morning you pray, moments of inspiration. Then you also have moments of application, moments of focus and putting it in. And really what you have to do is you have to cycle, because if you're always focused, you're never going to be creative. There are a lot of people, I don't know, the Chinese are amazing workers, focused till they die. But that's not cool. If you're always creative, a lot of people in the West are like busy in fantasy world. They're not actually kind of doing anything. So you have to be able to be creative and implement. And you have to have both of these skills, and that way you can always grow and move. And that would be my lesson to you.